We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Dolphins at 6-3 on the year, and they come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first down, Tagovailoa firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Wilson snags it left side. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Tua now on first down. Rolling to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. In motion, Hill. To throw on 2nd and 6, Tua. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Chubb on the counter. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. They go up the middle with Chubb, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On first down, it's Watson. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. This defense for the Dolphins, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From the 50, it's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. And Chubb will try the middle here. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Jerome Baker crashing downhill and getting the stop. After 7-0 on EA Sports. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb, and he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Watson on third down. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Tua. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jordan Elliott, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. The Browns' drive about to get started. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, heal up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
Bradley Chubb came in and got him.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And the next-gen stats tell us he took it better than 30 yards after that initial contact. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks. Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And going deep for Hill. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Now Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. Touchdown, Browns. David Njoku. 36 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And Wilson with it, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Tua now on 1st down. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and 9 from the 44. Tua to throw again. And he slings one that's incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Tua. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. 1st down, Miami.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? Now Tua. Oh, and that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this second quarter.
And a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. And what I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college,
and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they've got just over 50 seconds to go till halftime, so they can try to put something together if they want. And he goes down at the 26, a pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down. They set up the screen to Chubb. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 31, Watson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Got a man here, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this a very, very short kick. The Browns drive about to get started. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now a carry here for their fullback. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on third down. Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins will take over possession here up at the 44. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 37 yards on the punt with no return, and the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got momentum on their side. They were once down 14-0. Now it's even at 14 as they look to put together a drive to get them the lead. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Off of play action, it's Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he goes out right around the 39.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Faking the give, now Watson. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Watson looks to throw again, and that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Watson, off play action. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. 2 yards is the pickup, and that'll be good for a Cleveland 1st. A give running right is Chubb. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 47 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And some room to roam now. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 22 yards there, a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. Pass complete on the out route to Beckham. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run with Chubb. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and goal from the 1. Chubb again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Now that's a play to applaud because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. big-time read, big-time play.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. He completes it to Wilson. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down and 3. Tua going to throw. And Hill with it over the middle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Now it's Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Chubb on the read option. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. We look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They run it again with Chubb. And some space here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 76 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever.